Hi there, Ron here, Variable Play, and welcome to an unboxing. And by the way, happy Chinese New Year. So, today I'll be unboxing just a quick one. Uh, Venturesome and Chock-a-Block. So, let's start with Venturesome, because I'm fascinated with what they did with this, because it was slightly a bigger box when I first saw it from online, and it's a card game. Okay, you got your rule book, a couple of languages, a lot of languages, a lot of languages. Okay, and then finally cards. Cards wise, I think these are the 57s, which shouldn't be so bad. Cool. All right, so let's open up. Look at the art. That's the main thing that we're looking at here. But because of the amount of oh, okay, it has a helper thing, which was always a problem for me anyway. I have my blade here. That's a lot easier to do. Then we can work with the thing. Do the same for the other one. So what's really interesting with the game is you'll be playing cards to your tableau, performing the effect of the card. But the main goal is to have a surviving party. The theme, although loosely, is basically this Indiana Jones like party, and you have these sort of quest indicators. Then you have the cards themselves, which would have different effects. So I don't know their names yet. They're all the same per type of the card. So you got the Asian looking one, the blue adventurous one, you got the Latina, a red adventurer here, of course the old wise guy, and the fearful dude, and the broody one. So, and then these are the different challenges, I think. And basically, what these are what you want to avoid, because these are obstacles that will take these cards out. So if they are in your tableau, when you finish your round, and you can only finish if you have played all of your cards, so that's part of the dynamic, then whatever is left is your score. And that's pretty much how the game works. But you're all manipulating your board state, somebody else's board, moving back and forth, hoping that your party at the end would have the best set, and you win by that. That's how that works. Cool. I like the new card size. It is still very functional. I am interested though how it will pan out if sleeved, because, well, I don't know the card size itself, if it will, how that will fare. 56 by 87 maybe, as if I measured it on the fly. Perfect. But since we have time, let's go and sleeve these. 57 by 58. And I think because of the amount of extra rule books, and I just need to keep one anyway, let me just double check the amount of cards. The amount of cards are 63, so I need two of the 56 by 87. Let's get the sleeving real quick. Yep. Okay. Gotta do like this. So, how are you guys spending your in the middle of the week break? Hopefully, everybody is having a restful day. I'm wishing everyone a good New Year ahead for the Chinese New Year. And, how has 2025 been so far for you guys? Good. Turning out fine. Very busy. And how are your resolutions? Have they been reset already for 2026? So these should be fairly quick to sleeve. I love the art style. Very sort of Indiana Jones, but kind of has this League of Extraordinary Gentlemen style. Um, it looks like they have superpowers, but they don't necessarily have superpowers. But yeah. So they will all have the same effect. But what they have as an attribute, so these are gems, for example, they're the points that you will get at the end of the game. And they're not the same for the cards. So some will have anks, some will have artifacts and chalices and rings and so forth. And based on whatever challenge there is on the round, you're trying to finish your hand as soon as possible because you have the best chance of working out the challenge for the round. So it's kind of this weird trick taking card play in some sense where you're trying to avoid having, well, you're trying to finish off your hand, but because you're always required to play, and so it might even reach to a point that it's detrimental for you to play the card. But if you weren't able to manage to move it around, send it to somebody else, then suddenly it becomes, a problem, and that's where that goes. So okay, just a few more. Hold on. Let me just. New cards. New cards always does this. New sleeves, I mean. New sleeves. Let's just open up the other one. For Chock-a-Block, I really doubt I have sleeves for that, so we're just going to open it real quick. Because, yeah, very unlikely I will have sleeves for that. Not that it needs to. It's really more of a tile laying game, but we'll see in a bit what it looks like. Super adorable. I wish, just for my eyesight, I wish that the card style would be a bit brighter. This sort of color in so on screen it's not so bad, but on with my eyesight it's a little bit too dark for me. So this is fine, This one's not so much, especially with the gold and red font. That one is the where it becomes a little bit tricky for me to see. Always a challenge when designing games. You want it to be very artsy, looks good, but you always have to remember that it still has to be functional and usable as much as you could for players to understand. But for the action icons, once you remember, then you're practically just working with the color of the card. Not going to be a problem. I'm interested in this game because it's this manipulation style board state that I haven't seen before. But so it has this sort of like Euro-esque puzzle-like feel, but it's just using cards. And Folded Wishes started out was like that. Of course, had tokens. The tokens was improved over time, so it ended up with tokens. But in this case, it's really all just cards, and they're trying to win, to end up with a winning hand. That's quite interesting for me. Two more. Okay. So that's all there is. Now the big question, will they all still fit in the box afterwards? I have a feeling it might fit. Just because of the amount of rule books that were there. I'm just really hoping that it does. Might not fit in the end. Seems that it might not fit. Yes, as always, the challenge with boxes that don't want. Okay, so I think we better remove this middle thing because it doesn't help the fitting them all inside. So for simplicity, I'll put the rule book at the very bottom. We'll put the cards inside. Okay. Other side. Okay. Tricky. So it will likely be that it stacks a little bit higher than normal, just because of how last bit. So I will have to leave this sort of arranged like this for a while so that the cards kind of ease in their role. Okay. Okay. That's it. So I will have to sort of keep them like that, weighted down so that over time it will learn to fit in that mold. Okay. Next one. This one we are just opening. Because I don't think I will have the sleeves for this. Okay. So, Chock-a-Block is you're building, place 1 to 5 players. You are building, there. Okay. Sort of these buildings. Ooh, and it even has these beautiful tokens. And this is fantastic. A lot of tokens. Awesome. Okay. All right. So, and then you have the stars for points plus the actual cards themselves. Where did I put my... Yeah. All right. So, Chock-a-Block, you are drafting these buildings and you're placing them into your building. And you have a certain set of columns, and then you will eventually start to go up. But the goal here is to connect icons. And so you have pants, or well, underwear. So those are connected, right? Those are connected all the way down there. And so that your longest route is giving you points. I don't know how many columns you will be building. And eventually you will be also be able to sort of close out spaces for rent like these. And when you do so, you could put in a tenant that will then stay there and give you some more icons that will then extend that connection. So super adorable, super cute. You can see here the most adorable art. Which they are cuter than the first time because I saw this when it was still a prototype, and they were already cute. Now they're cuter. Also, what's really interesting is how they sort of bear down into each other as a column, and you can see there that when they join together, it forms your building, okay? Which is fantastic. Looks cool, awesome. Now for the size, I don't know. Let's see. Measure. If we can determine the... So it's around 6 centimeters. Yeah, it's around 6 centimeters. So I think there are 60 millimeter. Oh, and they're double-sided, so you can choose, I guess, which side you will put it on. So I will place these inside because just so they will store better and not bounce around while inside. I guess these will go inside. These can go in next. Tokens, the rule book. Fantastic. That is Chock-a-Block. And already being pressed down, venturesome. So, thank you everyone for joining me. Happy New Year. See you guys. Bye.